Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Sometimes you forget how much God loves you, not because you stopped believing, but because life got noisy. Responsibilities, opinions, small frustrations, they pile up until you start to feel ordinary again. But you're not. There's nothing ordinary about someone God has handpicked with precision. When He chooses to reveal that kind of work, it shows up quietly in how you move, how you think, how you respond. And suddenly people start to sense it too, with every cell in their body. You've probably noticed it lately. You're out living a seemingly ordinary day, queue at the shop, short ride in a lift, quick stop for coffee, and someone locks eyes with you longer than makes sense. Not a flirt, not a glare, just stuck. They look away, look back, then pretend they weren't looking at all. You feel the moment land, but you keep moving. Here's the simple truth behind those moments. God made your energy speak before you even think about what you want to say. People don't know what to do in that moment, so it shows up as hesitation. A waiter gets overly polite. A neighbor keeps it brief, not cold, just careful. A friend types, deletes, then sends the toned-down version. They're not sure why they're being cautious with you, they just are. Now think about famous people for a second. Most folks don't walk straight up to them. They hover, they whisper. They don't feel like they have the pass to approach. That's the quiet calculation some people are doing with you. Not because you asked for distance, but because your life started carrying weight, and people treat weighty things carefully. Where did that weight come from? God's hand, working in the background. He didn't give you a speech about it. He changed your everyday shape. You reply slower, but cleaner. You don't explain yourself 3 times. You leave rooms when your spirit says enough, even if the clock says you could stay. You say yes and no without building a courtroom around each one. That kind of clarity has a sound. Rooms hear it. Some will feel safer around you. They exhale. They tell you the real thing instead of the rehearsed version. Others will stall. They'll go jokey, change the topic, or act different for no obvious reason. A few will edge away, not because you harmed them, but because being near you wakes up parts of them they've been avoiding. Your calm presses pause on their noise. There's also another layer you felt, but maybe never named. Sometimes a stranger looks at you like they know you. It's not this life memory, it's older. Souls brush past each other long before introductions do. When they see you now, something in them tries to remember where that recognition came from. They won't find the file, they'll just feel the pull. And yes, there's a reason some people admire you and still won't come closer. Value makes people cautious. If they misstep with a random person, no big deal. If they misstep with you, it feels expensive. So they watch their words. They test the air. They hold back. That gap isn't rejection. It's reverence they don't know how to handle yet. You don't rush to fill the pause. If someone's searching for their words, you let them find them. You keep your warmth visible, a small smile, steady eye contact, one clear question. How are you, really? And lately, you hold your boundaries without a speech. That doesn't work for me, is enough. My dear friend, let careful people be careful. Some need time to match the honesty they feel in you. Give it to them. And about this new you, remember, most people don't approach you because they don't feel they have equal access. They think, what would I even say? Do I belong in that conversation? That's what some are thinking with you spiritually. They sense the God work in your life, and they don't want to mishandle it. It's clumsy, yes, but it's also respect in a rough draft. You'll also meet the other reaction, the cold look, the clipped tone, the person who suddenly turns bitter around you. And now you don't even try to fix it. You don't shrink anymore for it. That was the old you who did that. Your new assignment is to stay exact. Same voice, same pace, same peace, and let their weather be their weather. And for the ones who truly need you, they will cross the room. You won't need to lure them. They'll find plain words. I don't know why, but I feel like I can be honest here. That's your cue. Not a lecture, not a sermon, just presence. One good question, one honest answer, and the patience to listen all the way through. If you ever feel tempted to call these moments awkward, trade that word for confirmation. It's not just a thought in your head. God raised the value of your presence and then adjusted how people read you. It's hard to handle at first, but as time goes by, it becomes second nature. It slows down the wrong motives and clears a lane for the right ones. So when someone gives you that long look and then looks away, smile inside. They're not just seeing you, they're picking up the signal God placed on you. They're doing the same thing people do with a name they respect. They circle first, they measure themselves, and then, when they're ready, they step forward. Beauty in all of this is, you didn't ask to stand out. God decided it was time, and once He decides that, you can't hide, even if you try. See, you were never meant to be easily explained. That's why people study you, mimic you, or quietly measure themselves beside you. They're trying to solve a mystery that wasn't made for logic, it was made for faith. But here's something I want you to remember. You're not responsible for how others react to your light. Your job isn't to dim it, defend it, or prove it's real. You'll just keep walking in it, naturally, humbly, consistently. You've paid for this peace. You reach this steadiness through confusion, heartbreak, rejection, and long seasons of silence, where God seemed far but was beside you all the time. That's why your yes carries more power than your old explanations ever did. So when people watch you from a distance but won't come near, don't internalize it. That distance is proof that what's on you has weight. God made sure the right ones will feel permission and the wrong ones will feel resistance. That's divine order, not social awkwardness. Some of them will come around later, when they realize you weren't unreachable, just unavailable to what used to drain you. They'll approach gently, and when they do, you'll meet them with kindness, not ego. Because by then, you'll understand, their hesitation was never rejection. It was reverence trying to mature. And those who still turn cold, let them. You don't need to stand in court defending your spirit every time someone misreads your silence. You're not cold, you're focused. You're not distant, you're protected. You're not proud, you're precise. That's what spiritual maturity looks like, knowing when to be approachable and when to stay unavailable. You've learned that not every hand extended deserves to be held, and not every invitation deserves your presence. Your time, your peace, your clarity, they're sacred currency now. And the beauty of it is, you found out you don't have to force respect anymore. But if you ever wonder why your circle feels smaller, know it is the nature of this season. God trimmed distractions disguised as friends and noise disguised as connection. He's making sure what reaches you next is aligned with where He's sending you. This is why your presence feels like pressure to some and peace to others. You've become both the reminder and the invitation. To one person you represent hope, to another accountability, to another proof that obedience pays off. Same you, different mirrors. And yes, that can be lonely sometimes. You can feel surrounded and unseen at the same time. But understand this, being seen by God is heavier than being understood by people. He's the only one who can interpret the weight you carry correctly. You've reached the point where silence speaks louder than defense, and presence does what arguments can't. That's not arrogance, that's true alignment. You've learned to let God do the explaining, because He will. So keep showing up the same way you do recently, steady, kind, confident, without trying. Let people take their time adjusting to the new you. Some will warm up, some will fall away. Neither changes what God already settled about you. And when you feel that familiar stare, in a store, a meeting, a random passing moment, don't roll your eyes or shrink. Smile inside again, because it's still happening for the same reason. They're not staring at you, they're reacting to what God is doing through you. You've become evidence that He's real, that He can take someone ordinary, run them through silence and surrender, and send them back glowing with peace that can't be bought. So walk on. Carry it lightly, but don't hide it. You've spent enough years explaining yourself to people who weren't meant to understand you. This is your season of quiet proof. You don't need to make anyone comfortable anymore. You just need to keep being what God built. Steady, different, undeniable. Because whether they admit it or not, they don't just see you, they feel you. And that feeling is the reason they hesitate, whisper, and stare. The same reason they want you, but fear you. Before you go, if you'd like to sit in this same peace a little longer, I've created a place for that, my second channel, Simplified Serenity. It's filled with worship instrumentals made for prayer, meditation, and stillness. A quiet space for your heart to breathe, rest, and connect with God. Just tap on the playlist on your screen. I'd love to see you there.